Okay, here we go again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the webinar of Invicta Med, which this morning will be on the topic of marketing. I tried to make it 30 minutes so that it's concise and gives you as many quick tools and food for thought going forward. And the idea is to make it relevant for doctors and practitioners themselves. So hopefully the people attending today are doctors or practitioners. In case we have any clinic managers, this will be very relevant for them to share advice as well with their physicians. Okay, so today's objectives is to understand what is the role of the doctor in reaching out to new patients, reviewing the basics of marketing and listing the various options available to you so you can take some notes down and think about it after the webinar. So why are we talking about the role of the doctor or the practitioner in reaching out to patients is because there is this sort of discussion going on whether marketing is the responsibility of the marketing and clinic manager or whether it's the responsibility of the doctors and practitioners. The answer is that it's a combined responsibility, and definitely the marketing and clinic managers cannot do it alone without the doctor or practitioner being involved. And same for you guys, if you are doctors or practitioners, you will not be able to conduct an effective marketing approach unless you have, of course, a team supporting you, whether it's in the clinic or an agency or a freelancer. Of course, doing it all by yourself would be very challenging if you have to run a practice at the same time. So we'll quickly discuss this. Then reviewing marketing basics, which very often are being overlooked. From what I can see, a lot of the clinics and practitioners are all doing the same thing. They are all focusing on Instagram and they are not looking at marketing as a whole, which in fact, marketing has been around for a very long time, as we will see. And it's not a new thing. We just started with Instagram. So we must remember what are the marketing strategies that we've been using for decades, since even before the year 2000. And then I'll give you a quick toolbox so that you know what are the options available to you. So one of the three of the benefits that I really wanted to list about you understanding marketing and taking time to participate in such webinars or in events, conferences, online training courses is actually that you will stop wasting your time and your money when hiring agencies or freelancers. Because what I'm noticing is a lot of practitioners give me a call and say, I would like to have the contact number of a social media manager. Can you help me? Yes, I can. But from my experience, it's very rare that a clinic or practitioner will be successful in completely delegating the marketing to a social media person. Because the reason is that they don't really understand themselves how marketing works. They don't understand enough what they should be expecting from that social media agency or from that freelancer. And it's not a carefully thought out approach to marketing. And therefore, the results usually are very disappointing. Money gets wasted and time as well on both ends. And also to remind you that marketing doesn't have to be complicated and it doesn't have to be expensive, actually. Once again, we focus on spending money on Instagram to buy leads, but that's not the only way to maintain your patient base. And also for you to stop doing what everyone else is doing. So for me personally, I am not an advocate of just teaching you how to use Instagram, how to do better advertising campaigns on Instagram, because I don't think that is the answer. I think the answer is for you to do a different mix of activities and approaches than what most other people are doing. Okay, so hopefully today will give you some tools for that. So is marketing really my responsibility? And is this not a technical skill? I often get asked this question as well, because one of the misconceptions that I want to break down this morning is that marketing is too technical. Marketing is not technical at all. Is it time consuming? Yes. Does it take patience? Yes. These are the challenges, but it's not too technical. once you build your confidence of understanding what you're trying to achieve with marketing, and once yourself, you are also comfortable in your own skin, which is very important, because when you're going to start marketing yourself, once again, even if you delegate it to a marketing agency or social media agency, they will keep coming back to you and they will keep asking you, please provide me with a video where you are talking about the benefit of mesotherapy, let's say. And then you will find yourself being faced in front of a camera and not being comfortable and not knowing what to say. The agency will give you some guidance, but at the end of the day, the person who knows best what your patients expect is yourself. And this is why I really wanted to highlight this morning that marketing is your responsibility and it's important, and congratulations for you to take time today to participate in this. I would just like to make sure that there's not any participants trying to enter the room. So if you just bear with me, because I think some participants maybe were late. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so I love this quote, which is from David Packard, who actually was the co-founder of HP, the very well-known computer manufacturer. And he said that marketing is way too important to be left to the marketing department. I want you to remember this quotation because, again, it will always make you feel like you have to be involved, you have to understand what is going on, and you have to take an active part because this is a very important subject. Marketing is the way you're going to manage and create the success of your career and your practice. And we know that today practitioners, especially aesthetic practitioners, are increasingly expected to know how to communicate their expertise. They have to be half practitioners and half business-minded at the end of the day, because also the aesthetic patients and patients in general have increasing number of expectations when it comes to the medical services. We know that patients want to make very informed decisions with their own research. So even though you are not comfortable maybe with marketing yourself online, having a website, being on social media and Instagram, your patients want to see you and read about you online before they come to the clinic. And this is even if they have been recommended by a friend or a family member. And I will always highlight this. I recently had a doctor asking me, I'm fully booked, my clinic is pushing me to be on social media, but I don't see the point. And actually, I said, you're pretty fully booked because a lot of people refer you, recommend you, and therefore you have a very organic appointment book that gets filled up very naturally. However, for sure, think about it yourself. If you get recommended to go and see a cardiologist or a nutritionist and your friend tells you that person is amazing, for sure you will want yourself to go online and to check that practitioner's Instagram page, or you might want to read an article from them on their website or whatever else it is that you can find. And also marketing, we forget this very often, but marketing is not just about getting new patients and new potential clients. Marketing is a way to create trust and bond with your patients before the visit, whether it's online, during the visit in the clinic, by having an excellent organization in your team. I will talk more about this. And after the visit, let's say, for example, by following up with your patients, by asking reviews and testimonials, by continuing to engage with them. This is how you must conduct your marketing approach. It's not just before to try and get new leads on social media. And of course, the benefit of marketing is also to help the clinic or to help your own career by attracting and retaining patients. So let's talk very briefly about the art of marketing and how it started, because nowadays once again, we tend to forget that marketing is not just social media. Marketing is a science and an art which started, actually, we say the official date is 1990s, but actually it started way before that, even in the 60s and 70s. We had multinational companies from various industries, which is retail, but also the cigarettes industry, the tobacco industry, the computer industry, IT industry. They really started to use marketing techniques to try and tap into what the customer really wants and delivering adverts that was answering their needs. So this is what marketing really is to answer the needs of your patients, of your clients. It's not just to advertise. And there were some very, very smart campaigns that happened in the 1990s. And some of them are still iconic. And let me see if I can play this one to you. This is actually okay, no, unfortunately this will not work, but I will send you the link afterwards. Let me go back to my presentation. Second. Okay, so I will send you the link after this presentation so that you are able to look at it. But this was an advert by Macintosh that was saying that actually the best computer is not the one that has the most memory, is the one that clients will actually be using. And I thought that advert was very relevant because it shows you that it's not always about showing that you're the best, that you have the best machine in your clinic, that you have the best products. Yes, there is an assumption that you have all of this, but actually you need to be able to advertise and provide what your clients and patients really want at the end of the day. And that's why I love marketing, because actually there is a lot of psychology involved in marketing. So it's about understanding and decoding what your client wants and what is the need that you're going to answer. So marketing era is all about understanding the needs of your target customers and then effectively customizing your marketing activities to address those needs. So there's a lot of brain power that had to go into marketing, sitting, thinking, saying, okay, this didn't work, why it didn't work? Okay, this campaign really worked, and why did it work? So that you keep adjusting your activities to respond to the client's needs. And as we know, it goes way beyond social media. And we're going to talk about the other channels, we call it, that are available in marketing for you to not just focus on Instagram, for example. So let us look at the essential marketing principles. Sorry, that slide went fast. So marketing, as I said, is a science. And like any industry, medicine, IT, law, there are some principles that govern that, that particular science. So in marketing, it's very important, if there's maybe one takeaway information that I would like you to have today, is that acquiring a new customer can cost you 5 times more than retaining an existing customer. So, because marketing, once again, we often think that marketing is about getting new customers. And then we can forget, not just the practitioners, of course, but also the reception team, the clinic manager. Everybody is responsible for retaining the customer. This is very important. Why? Because in Dubai and the UAE, we are in a very, very competitive healthcare space. And there are marketing messages all day long, everywhere, on billboards, on phones, on the radio, it's everywhere. So you're going to have to work really hard to retain your customer. Everybody who's attending this webinar has customers. For sure, you want to have probably more patients, but focus on retaining your patients and getting your patients to refer you to their family and friends as well. Use word of mouth marketing, use the quality of your work to be your best marketing, and make sure that you have an organization in the clinic which is impeccable, which means that when the client will come, the patient will come from the front desk all the way till the point when they will leave your consultation room, they will want to come back. think about it. If you as a practitioner, you provide amazing services, but if your receptionist is not up to scratch, and if your clinic and marketing managers are not doing enough marketing after their visit to make sure that they don't forget about you, that they keep coming back, that you offer complementary services to what was offered the first time, there's a very high risk that this patient might actually not come back to your clinic, even though you might have given an amazing treatment, because it's natural to want to try other services, other facilities, other places. There are discount offers everywhere. So you need to keep a bond with your patient. And that bond has to be created from the time that they come in the clinic, by making sure that your front desk has an exceptional communication ability, an exceptional sales ability, so that they can also maybe upsell your patients to packages so that they are committed to coming back, explaining to them the benefit of the services that are offered in the clinic. But also for you, when you are with the patient, you have to bond with the patient. And we are going to talk a little bit more about this, because even though your medical expertise and the medical service that you provide is extremely important for you to retain the patients and attract more patients, there is also an emotional aspect in growing your practice and your patient base. And we know that people in general, not just patients, they buy with emotions, and they buy from people they trust. So you need to remember this, and you need to be able to display a lot of various soft skills, we call it, and interpersonal skills when you are exchanging with your patients, so that can feel that you have empathy, they can trust you, they can feel that you are in control of the treatment that you are providing. All these activities, they will help you to retain your patient, and this will cost you 5 times less than always trying to attract new patients. And if your patients are happy with the service, as I said, from the front desk to the consultation room, they will definitely start referring you more and more to family members and to friends. And this is when the marketing team comes in, and this is where they have to use tactics, to incentivize your patients to refer to other people. Okay, so we know that increasing customer retention by just 5% actually can increase your profits from 25 to 95%. So I would like everybody to be able to remember this, because it really has an exceptional revenue potential retaining the customer with marketing tactics and with the experience that you provide in the clinic. So also, one of the essential marketing principles that I want to talk about today is that you cannot do your own marketing alone. That is for sure. You need a team with you to support you, but also you cannot not be involved. This is a key message today. So always make sure that you understand what is going on in the marketing department. What is the social media agency doing? Or if you're doing it yourself, that you take time every week and every month to sit and understand where you spent your money, where you spent your efforts, and why it did not work or why it worked. Remember that the most effective marketing is free and is authentic, and it comes from you. So what I mean by this is that free marketing is what we just mentioned, which is word of mouth marketing, which is things that you can do that don't cost money, providing an amazing experience to your patient in the clinic, providing an amazing treatment. Those things don't cost you extra money. Authentic is a keyword, because nowadays it's easy to get lost in everything that you see on social media, with those very fancy posts, those very fancy videos with filters on top of them and special effects. But this is not authentic. And we know that what makes people buy or click is authentic approaches. You cannot pretend to be a multinational company running, very expensive advertising campaigns. You have to be authentic. You have to appear, whether it's on social media or on videos, anywhere, in a very natural way, so that when the patient comes to the clinic afterwards, after seeing you on the social media, they feel like actually they already know you and it's up to their expectations. So it has to be genuine, it has to be authentic, it has to come from your heart, because those things always transpire and the patients will definitely feel it. If you are again delegating it to a social media agency, hoping that they just create a very fancy video about the clinic, this is not going to go so far. Ultimately, on social media, especially, patients and clients and followers, we want to see real people, real things. That's why it's called social media. We know as well that photos and videos have a much more powerful impact on marketing and on catching attention than, for example, making posts with text. So you could expect your graphic designer or your marketing team to make very fancy posts. Every now and again, it's okay to do that. But we know that if you are posting a video of yourself, it's 75% more effective than actually posting an image of yourself. And vice versa. If you're posting an image of yourself, it's also way more effective than just posting a standard post with text. So we really encourage you to use photos and videos as much as you can in your marketing approach, because we've tested it ourselves on our own pages. And every time we post a picture or a video, we get a lot more results. So don't waste time designing posts that take time and money. This will not go very far usually. Another essential advice in marketing is thinking before acting. What do I mean by this? Very often in marketing, we can have a very responsive and reactive approach, where we are actually in panic and we want to get more patients very quickly. And then we're going to pay a lot of money to a social media agency, or we're going to suddenly hire a social media manager, and then we expect results within 3 months. It does not work like this. You need to think carefully. What do you want to get out of this? What is your target? Again, it's not obvious that the target is just to get more customers. The target could be, first of all, we are losing a lot of customers when they get into the clinic. Why is that? Let's use marketing techniques to try and keep those customers, because we have some. Now, also thinking about what who is your patient base? Like, why do they come to you? Are they very, very VIP demanding patients, or are they more, patients that want to come just for the quality of your medical expertise? So you have to understand, like, who is your target patient and customer, as we often call it in marketing. Is it more males? Is it more females? What's the age bracket? And what's their disposable income? Are they looking for discounts, or are they looking for expensive procedures but with very strong results? Once you have all this information, and remember never to make assumptions as well. So once you have brainstormed all of those things and actually used some data, in every clinic there is some data. Look at the software that you have system, where you can collect some data from your patients, their age, how old are they on average, what's their nationality, where do they come from which area of Dubai. Collect all that information, and then when you are trying to conduct marketing activities, you will then be able to better target that similar patient to the one that you already have, because no point trying to target patients that you don't have already. You should keep consistent. If people come to you, there's a reason. So try to target the same people as the ones that are already coming to you. So this is why the thinking before acting is very important. We've mentioned that already before, but I'm going to reiterate it. Marketing happens face-to-face as well as online. It happens with your receptionist, with your nurse, with your colleague. If you're a doctor, the beauty therapist can do marketing for you. because when she's doing a treatment to the patient, she can talk about maybe the benefit of fillers. But for that to happen effectively, we go back to the same issue, which is making sure that your staff is well trained and well informed. So it's not just about, oh, why don't you try fillers with Dr. Smith? No. The beauty therapist could be trained in a way that even though she cannot inject fillers, she can understand the pros and cons of fillers. She can understand the areas of the face that this patient would benefit from fillers. She can understand the potential concerns of the patient getting the fillers, so that she can have an authentic conversation with that patient. And then ultimately that patient will then come to you for fillers rather than maybe coming even to another clinic. So the marketing and communication channels that you have, they are in the clinic, they are the word of mouth, as we said, but it's also social media. So there's a lot of different marketing channels that you have. Word of mouth marketing. So word of mouth marketing starts with the quality of your work. So if your work is impeccable, actually, you should not even have to worry too much about marketing. You should always think about it, but definitely, if your work is a 9 out of 10 compared to a 4 out of 10, then you will have much less marketing efforts and money to spend than if your work is a 4 out of 10. So sometimes we focus on the wrong things. Maybe before focusing more on spending money on Instagram, maybe it's time for you to update yourself, try to do a refresher training, maybe trying to remotivate yourself. Sometimes there's a lot of things that can happen, which means that we are losing some of the clients that we had, and we're not able to attract as many clients as we wanted. And the answer is not, again, always just going and paying Instagram to get more contacts. So your work is very important, but also your staff. So training your staff and involve them in the marketing activities is very important. If you attend a webinar like this today, encouraging them, for example, to attend with you. But also the reviews that you are collecting on Google are very important and they're very powerful. So I would really emphasize having a process in place to make sure that every person that comes to see you is leaving a 5-star review. We know that there's a lot of soft skills. I won't have time today to talk about this, but it's not just about, as I said, what you offer to the patient as a procedure, but it's also how you offer it and how you bond with that patient. We call them soft skills, and it's a whole other discussion. We won't have time today. The next marketing principle I want to talk about is making sure that your marketing message is carefully addressing the need of the client. I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes on this because, again, when a lot of clinics and practitioners are designing advertising campaigns, they tend to rely on the social media agency or the marketing agency to come up with fancy messages and catch lines to get the attention of the patient. Definitely, if the marketing agency is good and the marketer is good, they will know how to come up with messaging and text that creates that hook. But you also know how to address the client. So you have to actively take part in this. And remember that all the marketing messages need to address a need. You need every business that is successful is solving a problem, is providing a solution to a need. iPhone is providing a solution. The computer that you're using is providing a solution. The restaurant where you go to is providing an answer to a need. Distracting yourself, entertaining, having good food in the right location. So what is the need of your patient? I really encourage you to start thinking about it and to come up with messaging that is unique, that is authentic, and that is different from what everybody else is saying. Let's say you want to advertise Botox. Having a message, for example, which says, would you like to look 10 years younger? okay, that could seem like a good marketing message, but probably a lot of other clinics have used it already. You could try and dig a little bit deeper and think, when it comes to Botox, what is the main problem that my patients are experiencing, and how can I address this in my marketing message? We know that actually a lot of patients are complaining that Botox doesn't last anymore. So maybe you could have a message which says, tired of your Botox not lasting long enough. And then you're targeting the exact need of that patient. But this takes a lot of thinking time, and this has to be done in a team. One of the next very important rule is the marketing rule of 7. I don't know if you've heard about this or if your marketing team would have told you about it, but it's extremely important. So the marketing rule of 7 relies on the principle that a client needs to see an advert or a message or a service at least 7 times before they decide to connect or engage or buy that service. And that's why marketing is never a one shot. You can never expect that you put your money down and in 3 months you will have the results. And that's why you have to use different channels, not just social media, but also, for example, emails, also, for example, events, WhatsApp communication, so that they see your message at least 7 times before they start thinking, yes, I want to go to that clinic and I want to go to that practitioner. We know as well that marketing is like medicine. You must combine the solutions to get the best results. If you had one machine or one product in your clinic, whatever your specialty is, it would not work. If there was only one type of active ingredients that you could use, it would not work. So marketing is the same. You have different options and you need to combine them all to get the best results. And you need to remember that marketing is a process. Marketing also involves sales. You cannot expect to just do marketing campaigns and then suddenly patients are coming. We are all human beings and we all react in the same way when we see an advert. First of all, we are aware of a service that is provided by a particular company or clinic. Then we start generating an interest for that service. Then we start desiring that service. And then later on, we start taking action. But that process takes time. So you need to understand that you will need as well effective sales team or effective sales approach by your receptionist, your patient coordinator, your business development manager, or whoever it is in your clinic, so that they are skilled in making sure that they connect and contact and engage the leads that you have received, so that you are really making a difference when it comes to the interest and the desire. Because awareness is when you are spending your money on Instagram. You're spending money for patients to be aware of your service, but then you need to keep stimulating them so that you're triggering the interest, you're triggering the desire, and finally they will take action. You need to remember as well that you have to be patient for the results to show. And I'm sure that you're having that same conversation with your patients in the clinic. There is no quick shot. They have to combine approaches, they have to be consistent, and they have to be patient. So don't sign up a marketing agency for 3 months, and if it doesn't work, let them go. It's not usually the right approach because they also need time for the results to work. And how do you know if your advertising is working? This is a huge question that we often get, and very often we can assume that it's just not working. So actually, this is a complex subject, but we will talk more about it in our upcoming events. But you have to really understand that the conversion rate of inquiries to bookings is low, and that's normal. It depends from industries to industries, but sometimes it can be as low as 5%. So let's say you have 100 inquiries, maybe only 5 of them will book, but that is okay. That's why you need to educate yourself a little bit more with like the standards in marketing, so you understand better if am I wasting my money or am I spending money and getting the right results or not? Because 5% conversion is reasonable. Why? Because let's say you have spent 5,000 dirhams to get 100 inquiries. And then from that 5,000 dirhams, 5 inquiries will come to your clinic and become patients. Okay, 5 patients for the cost of 5,000 dirhams might seem like you are not making a return on investment, right? Because maybe each patient has spent 1,000 dirhams and then 5 of them came, so they spent 5,000 dirhams in the clinic. But you spent 5,000 dirhams to get 100 inquiries. So you're going to say it doesn't work. It's not worth my while. That would be a misconception. Why? Because if you have 5 patients that came one time and each of them spent 1,000 dirhams and they don't come back, this is the problem. Why they didn't come back? You need to work on that. Maybe the experience in the reception was not right. Maybe the experience during the treatment was not right. Maybe the result of the treatment was not as expected. Maybe the price was wrong and they didn't come back. But if those patients come back twice, 3 times, which we know they should be doing, right? Because to get results, you need to be consistent as a patient. So if they come back, each of them 3 times, suddenly you have turned your 5,000 dirhams into 15,000 dirhams, and then you have made 10,000 dirhams. And then if from those 3 people, one of them is referring you to a friend, then you have gained another patient, which maybe you won't think, oh, I got it from Instagram. No, because he's a friend of that patient that you got from Instagram, but you wouldn't have had that friend if you wouldn't have had that patient inquiry from Instagram. So you have to really think outside the box to evaluate if your marketing is working or not, and if your return on investment is valuable or not. So this is time consuming, of course, but I just wanted to raise this point with you so that it's food for thought. So very quickly, this will be the last part of this webinar. We're going to review the different marketing channels that you have available in order to do your marketing. So this is an important slide. You might want to take a picture. You might want to take some notes. But basically, it's a summary as well as some new ideas. So word of mouth marketing is your first and most important marketing. Your work and the referrals that you get. It's free and it's the best way to get marketing to work for you. Social media marketing, of course. Instagram, yes, but also TikTok and Snapchat. If you're not yet comfortable with Instagram marketing, don't think about TikTok and Snapchat. But if you are, maybe it's time to also start a Snapchat channel, because we know that, for example, local patients, Emirati patients, they love Snapchat. Digital marketing. There is a difference between digital marketing and social media marketing. Social media marketing is, yes, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, the TikToks. Digital marketing is Google and YouTube. Having a YouTube channel is also a good idea where you can post videos of your work. YouTube belongs to Google, so if you are thinking of spending money in order for your website or services to appear on Google, then be reminded that YouTube is part of that network as well. Personal branding. So personal branding means it's more about putting you first as the expert rather than the clinic. So LinkedIn is an amazing network for you to push your personal branding. And if you're interested in the topic of LinkedIn, we will talk about it in our marketing bootcamp. Blogs, writing blogs is an excellent way as well to drive your marketing and to show your patients that you have knowledge and expertise. Making videos. In clinic marketing, we've talked about it, making sure you have advertisements on the TVs in the clinic, QR codes, asking patients for reviews, organizing events. I don't have enough time to talk about this today, but why not organize events with your patients and potential patients in the clinic in a small group, 10 people, 15 people, talk about the benefit of PRP for an hour and give them a few samples of skincare products. It will make them very happy, and this is a marketing activity. Email marketing. I think a lot of clinics and practitioners are not using emails to communicate about their services. And we think that emails are a bit 2010, but they're not. Who doesn't check their emails at least once a day? Everybody on this webinar, I'm sure, has already checked their email inbox this morning or will check it one more time before tonight. So why not having an email from your clinic in the inbox of your patients at least once a week? And WhatsApp groups. WhatsApp groups are also amazing because they enable you to chat with patients and answer questions. Yes, it's time consuming, but is it more time consuming than going on Instagram and spending money on getting new leads? Maybe not. So I've done it for a few clinics where we set up WhatsApp groups for them, and it was very effective for them to be able to discuss their expertise and encourage patients to visit them and answer questions about their field of expertise. So this will come soon to the end of this webinar. If you have any questions, please start thinking about them. Remember that, as I said before, the most effective marketing is free and authentic. It comes from you. So don't be scared of presenting the real you to the world, because this is what will work the best when it comes to acquiring new patients. And especially in a saturated market, it's very important to remember that you have to be different and don't copy what others are doing. I love this quote by Coco Chanel that says that to be irreplaceable, you must be different. So this is where your brain power has to go, to think, how can I be different from what the others are doing? So thank you very much for listening to this webinar. I would like to encourage you to attend our marketing bootcamp, which is next Friday, actually exactly in 1 week time. It's a full day event, but I promise you that you will get a lot from it. You will get so many ideas, and I'm delighted to have those 3 aesthetic physicians as well who will share their marketing tips and secrets. But we also have professional marketers like myself speaking, and we will give you lots of tools, tips, and tricks for you to leave the event with lots of fresh ideas, and network as well with providers of marketing solutions and network with other doctors. So thank you so much. I hope that this was helpful. If you don't follow us on Instagram yet, please do. We are InvictaMed, and this is our QR code. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, I can unmute everybody. And we can also, of course, have the group chat where you can post your questions. If not, of course, you can reach out to us via WhatsApp or Instagram. So hopefully that was helpful for you. Let me just unmute you. Is there any question from anybody? Any questions? If not, we have recorded it, so we will be able to answer all your questions or send you the recording, sorry, after today, if you would like to listen to this again. Any questions from anybody? No, so if there's no more questions, then thank you so much for attending. And we hope to connect with you at one of our upcoming events. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alexandra, for the comment. Thank you, Dr. Ibtisam.